If you want to get rich, you have to act quickly. You have to do things fast. Speed is rule one. Not enough people understand the importance of speed, because every hour you spend not making money is an hour you're not going to get back. The sooner you turn on the tap to the money, the more money you're going to make. You have to be very, very quick. A lot of people think my life is so interesting, and they think the things I say are so controversial and interesting, and they're 5% of what's in my head.
Yeah.
I could say so much more controversial things. I could say things far more abrasively, and I have stories which are far more interesting than the ones anyone's ever heard.
Yeah.
And I only tell a very small percent because I have to protect myself and the people I care. I would have the ability to speak and everybody absorb my knowledge and words and understand that I'm ultra intelligent.
All right, fine.
No.
A basic superpower.
We're talking about...
I already have the superpower. Here we are. I'm the most Googled man on the planet. It's very hard to not become a billionaire in the world today, I think, if you're truly influential. I'm already a billionaire if I had to have my net worth measured. I genuinely want every single Tate fan, anybody who listens to what I say, to have an improved life. I want their life to be better for listening to me, whether it's in their relationship or whether it's in their physical stature or their financial capability. The idea of a 16-year-old spending their last money on a coin because I said so, and them losing money would bother me at night.
And they will lose it.
And they will lose. Of course they'll lose. Crypto is, this is what most people don't even understand about the crypto market. It's player versus player. You can only sell it for $10 after buying it for $1 because someone's buying it at $10. Someone is out to lose. So you can't launch a coin and nobody loses. This is why I haven't launched a crypto. I can make $10 billion today if I launched a crypto, but I refuse to do it because people are going to lose under my name. It's all clown world. And then you get to the point where you have to realize, do I need more money or do I want to genuinely be a force for good in the world? And I don't need money. It's the last thing I need. So I'm not going to sell my soul. Logan's obviously a brokey. So he sold his soul like a punk. And now God, then he insulted God, which was great. I
didn't see that.
He robbed all his fans, and then he sat there and insulted God, and now God's teaching him a lesson. And maybe he's take his atheistic ass and go look in the fucking mirror and understand that there's powers in his universe he doesn't understand. And he can stop being an arrogant piece of shit. He can apologize to his fans. He can take the last money in his little brokey bank account and refund it like a man would. That's what I'd do if they were insulting me. I'd go and say, look, here's my bank balance. I have this much money. I'm giving it to charity. Guy's a fucking punk. He just wants to continue to talk on podcasts and pretend his fans are going to care about him forever. Nobody respects that man any longer from the day he attacked me. Anybody who attacks me gets fucking wrecked. True Jordy lost every sponsor, got wrecked. Logan got wrecked. I'm divinely protected. These clowns need to just not say my name. So yeah, because they're people without morals. And if you have no morality on a long enough time scale, God will teach you a lesson. They're fucking morally bankrupt individuals. They're just sitting there, anything they can to grab some money from the world, fucking their fans. All the world's money is moving to Dubai. Or at least setting up a second life in Dubai in the event of something going wrong in their host country where they can instantly bounce. And when I say all the world's money, I mean everywhere. All the Russians are going there. Chinese are starting to go there. Everyone I know in Europe with money has got a second home in Dubai. Everyone's setting up because it's designed in a way where you can go, you can spend a few weeks there, you can get your residency, you can become a resident. It's so easy to buy property. There's 0% taxes. They've got banking, which is all legit and the best banking in the world. They've got shopping, they've got everything. It's almost second nature to me. It's not a conscious thing. If I'm awake, I don't see why I wouldn't be doing something constructive. I'm a conscious now. I've woken up. I'm either in the gym or I'm working. What else am I going to do besides turn my brain off in front of Netflix? It's just all clown world to me. If I'm awake, it's work or training, and that's how I've always lived, and that's just how I'm going to live as long as I can. If I get to a point where I feel need to slow down, then I'll slow down. Well, it's interesting about watching content because watching content can be a double-edged sword. You can learn a bunch of things, and everyone at home here, I like to feel like they're getting value and they're learning things. But there's also the other edge of people who feel like if they just watch a bunch of shit and do nothing, that they're taking action. They feel better about themselves, but they're not actually taking action. You know, so you have to balance the two carefully. Ultimately, it's going to be action that shapes your world. Ultimately, you're going to have to do something. So if you're watching something, you should be very conscious of what it is. I mean, I've created my reality, absolutely. I've cut out all bullshit in my life. Like, I don't have TikTok installed on my phone. So I don't have anything installed on my phone. I don't absorb any bullshit, fucking random entertainment. I don't watch any podcasts of anyone else. Like nothing. I don't need to. I've tried to be very, very efficient with it. But yeah, you have to be careful if you just watch too much content. Like you guys have a website, right? And you teach things. I have a website, I teach things, whatever. If you watch this podcast and you genuinely learn things from it, then you should be on one of the two websites by the time the conversation ends. If you're gonna watch the podcast and go, yeah, they're all pretty smart. Anyway, then you've wasted your time. If you're gonna watch something, it needs to either tell you what to do or inspire you to take action. If you're not gonna take action, you're gonna fail. That's the reality. I said that I don't read books, and I'm very anti-reading. and it upset a whole bunch of people. My problem with reading is not that there's not good information there.
It's too slow.
It feels slow.
I'm with him.
It feels slow. I just feel like I don't have
read
the
a bit
hours.
faster.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't have the hours. I'm now at the point where I will hand the book to my PA and say, give me a 2-minute surmise, you read it. Like, for me, that's just where I am. But also, life teaches you a lot. And I think a lot of people are not very self-reflective of their own lives. I don't think you can read a book and that's great. But I think if you're living an interesting life, if you were to take half an hour a day to actually sit and go, okay, what good has happened to me today? And what bad has happened to me today? Why have those things happened? And how can I prevent them from happening again? Most people don't, that kind of crap doesn't even cross their minds. Like every day I will sit at the end of the day and go, what bad has happened to me today? How did that happen? Did I get caught slipping was I on the street and some guys come up to me and it could have been a dangerous situation? Like, how could I genuinely have improved my reality? And you can self-reflect and teach yourself everything.
But that's total ownership of your life, isn't it?
But you have to have.
But a lot of people don't.
You have to have ownership of everything good that's ever happened to you and everything bad that's ever happened to you. I have complete ownership for the fact I was canceled. I don't sit there and go, oh, they're lying about me. Yes, they're lying, but I still own it completely. They're lying about me and they're talking shit, but I own it and I took responsibility for it and I sat there and I took absolute accountability and I thought, okay, how can I turn this in my favor? And I beat them. If I'm walking down the street and it starts to rain, I take responsibility for that. I didn't have to be in rainy London. I could have been somewhere else. I could have brought an umbrella. Could have took a car. I am responsible for getting wet in the rain. And there's people out here who just don't take any responsibility for their own actions, let alone the weather. If you take complete self-accountability and you self-reflect, it's raining, I'm unlucky.
You got told.
Yeah, I must be a loser.
No, but that's what they'll say. I got wet because it rained, not my fault. Whereas I'll say I got wet because I did not prepare for the rain. And life is a value exchange. Every friendship, every relationship, every business relationship, there has to be an exchange of value. If as you progress through life, if people stay in the same place, you're only giving value. You're not receiving any value back. And you have to be ruthless about those things. Like, I have a very curated circle and everybody in my circle is extremely useful and we're extremely successful. And it's a very motivating thing. If you're in a room full of ice cream experts and all they talk about is ice cream, how to move ice cream, how to sell ice cream, different flavors of ice cream, how you make ice cream, you're gonna learn a lot about ice cream. If you're in a room full of people who are billionaires, and guess what they're talking about? Money. And guess what you're gonna learn about? Money. I don't sit and have pointless conversations with people. I don't even know what people are talking about. If me and my friends meet, we end up talking about the earth and how it can pay us. That's what we talk about. And that's how we manage to make a bunch of money. So you have to be ruthless with your circle. And for people out there who understand this, a lot of people say they understand it, but they genuinely don't. But if you do, and you are trying to progress your circle, you need to find a way to provide value. You need to either join networks like my one on corporative.com, or you need to find a way to provide value. I'll give you an example. In Romania, I was driving and I went to a town called Cluj. It's a very small town. I went in a nice car and a kid came up to me and he said, I run the car spotting page and we take pictures of the Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Can I take a picture? I said, yeah, sure. And anyway, he took a picture of it and then he gave me his business card and he said, I just want you to know, I don't even like cars. I just knew the best way for me to meet rich people is to take photos of nice cars.
It's a great story.
I was like, you're smart.
Very
I
smart.
hired him.
I'm not surprised.
He works for me. Yeah, he still works for me for this day.
Yeah.
He was smart enough to go, well, where's the money over there?
Yeah.
How do I get close to the money? Oh, they don't want to talk to me. But if I take cool photos of his car, he might want to talk to me. You have to find a way to provide value to people.
Yeah.
If you provide value and it's a value exchange, you'll do good. But yeah, I say this to people and they go, oh, but my friend, and we have a good time together. Well, if you're going to prioritize your friends by drinking and having fun, then you're going to have a bunch of fucking loser friends. That's your life and that's your life to live. It's fine. Don't complain when the NHS are on strike and you can't get seen and I'm in a private hospital in fucking Saudi. That's your problem. You have to just make your decisions in life and live true to them. But creating a circle is ultra important. And it's not just important financially, it's also important for your entire life and your mindset as a whole. Because it's amazing, especially amongst men, we never want to be the poorest person in the room. We never want to be the weakest person in the room. You never want to be, so if you're with a group of killers, you have now this massive expectation. It's almost like societal pressure and a positive force. If I go to my friends, I can't be the weakling.